My name is Paul Offit, and I'm talking to you today from the Vaccine Education Center at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. It's Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025.